taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Panthers set to go. They, of course, have number 1 as their starting quarterback, Cam Newton. Now, he is number 1 in franchise history in just about every passing category. MVP back in 2015 as well, and trying to get the Panthers back into the playoffs after a 7-9 finish a year ago.
Here we go, get off the field.
On first down, it's Newton. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Not today, you won't. Not today.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton out to his left. He may try and run for this. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Even at the age of 30, Cam says it's just a number. Still a real threat running the football. We all know about the touchdowns, but ran for 488 yards last season. That was 4th among all NFL quarterbacks. He can still tote the mail.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Brandon, guys do whatever it takes to have fresh legs late in the season nowadays, don't they? How about him last week? Week 16, NFC Player of the Week for his performance.
Probably means a little bit more to him later in the year, doesn't it? Because of what you just said, the fatigue for running back throughout the season.
Shows the off-season training and the endurance that he created in order to have that type of a game this late in the season.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
A third-round pick out of LSU in the 2014 draft, guard Trey Turner quickly became one of the better players in the NFL. Agile, this guy can absolutely fly. The fastest offensive lineman at the 2014 Combine. You want some nastiness? Watch him at the point of attack. Agile, mobile, and hostile. That's Trey Turner.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 19-yard line. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, Greg Olsen's back for his 13th NFL season. The last 9 have been in a Panthers uniform. Only 9 games for him a year ago, 7 the season before due to injuries. But when healthy, a 1,000-yard receiver in 2014, 15, and 16.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Newton now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kiko Alonso in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
You know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So here are the Saints under longtime head coach Sean Payton. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw 1 when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week.
Opposite.
On first down, Brees. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And a sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Check 59.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59. I got it.
Mike 5'9",
Easy, opposite.
Mike, check, 59.
Hey, wahoo! Here we go.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Push him back.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. A little juke. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am, okay? So,
True.
So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. And on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys?
Not necessarily.
You find the best guys, plug them in on your O-line.
Right. As a general rule now, you're a lot more balanced on your offensive line. They might still lean towards your best pass blocker on the left side.
Sure.
But not necessarily all the time.
First inning.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down.
In Christian McCaffrey's rookie year, he would not have gotten that carry. It likely would have gone to either Cam or Jonathan Stewart when he was with the Panthers. But now he's the man in the backfield, gets the big carry, picks up the 1st down.
And he's going to find Hogan here, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multi-tap.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen. His second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play,
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead grows to 10-0. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now Breeze finding Kamara. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
7 yards there and a first down.
The Saints spent a third-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers, and the last 2 years in Oakland. Now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Hey, Delta. Mike 59. Mike 59. I got you. I got you.
59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check, check. 59.
Now Breeze again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
He's not going to get me.
'54's Mike. 54's Mike. 02. 54.
Here we go.
Hey, Zoo.
Defense on deck.
Here's Breeze to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, echo. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Throwing now is Breeze. There goes a deep ball. End zone. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played.
Breeze pass complete to Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start over in Tampa. An NFC South matchup between Atlanta and Tampa Bay. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front. Mike Evans, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. Lamar Miller with a couple of touchdowns there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Brees now. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 27, Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He's going to look deep. This is caught at the 20. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there for Carolina. And even 40 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, here's Newton. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And Thomas has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Yellow lady, yellow lady.
It's 59, Mike to 59. Double dog, that's the way.
On play action, now Breeze. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Newton. And his throw here's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. It's a pickup of 6.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Newton. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Newton to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Demario Davis able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Dancing to his left. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 37 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Drew Brees, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago, and that led the NFL. He'll try to deliver another one. Brees now on first down. Looking long for Thomas. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Breeze to throw. This is caught by Gill. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ted Ginn scoring a touchdown against his former mates, as they are now just an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
A drive there of just 4 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. So now Newton and the Panthers trailing 14-13. A little over 80 ticks to go. A chance to end this season with a bang as they come up with a 1st and 10. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to throw. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. Cam trying to rally his guys to the line as quick as he can. Now Newton. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And open here is Hogan. He's got it. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Newton. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. DJ Swearinger, a sack on the safety blitz. And he finds a man. It's awesome. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go. Now, Katie. Greg.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. 2 for 2 on the afternoon, and a third would win it. And the 10-year vet knocks it to the goalpost. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Carolina, the win is their 8th on the year. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Saints, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. But more importantly, they'll get a week to rest as they've earned a first-round bye in this year's playoffs. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.